When our country was divided into different states, it was primarily on the grounds of languages. However, language is not such a thing which changes directly as you change a political boundary between two states. That is, it is not like black and white. That is, one is black, another is white, and then again black, like a chessboard. You can't just differentiate so distinctly between two languages along the borders, because where there are borders, that is because especially when it comes to different states, these are overlapping regions, or we can say it is a continuous boundary. These are natural or physical regions, and we can't just say that at a particular boundary, let's say if this is a Maharashtra boundary over here, and on the left side of it is the Gujarat, then we can't see that directly. If you just cross this boundary, everyone will speak Gujarati, and on this side everyone will speak English, speak Marathi. So there will always be people on both the sides, where say in this part of Surat or these regions are there, where you will find people who speak in Marathi, or there will be people around Nashik region where you will see that people speak Gujarati. And it actually happens. And sometimes even what happens is, on the boundary regions, some language, a third language itself is formed, where you can see people kind of mix the two languages and create another language, which is also something we can see as an example, which is from around the Maharashtra, Karnataka, and Telangana border. That is, three languages are mixed, and there's a region called, some region is there in near Miras in Sangli district of Maharashtra, where you can see this happen in live. So, uh, the point behind this is that there could be some distinct parameters which may have caused the current political boundaries between states. It could be maybe some history could be there. Say these particular regions were part of a kingdom or empire of some ruler, and then respective regions got separated. Or there could be other factors, and one of them I think is rivers, because they tend to form natural boundaries between two regions. Maybe today there are bridges that can connect two regions, but previously river could be considered as a natural boundary between two regions. So let's see few examples in our country itself where rivers act as a reason behind boundaries between two political states, or we can say even countries. So we'll just see few examples first. Let's scroll up, and okay, so right now we are near Delhi, and so I'll just draw a boundary to show the to highlight the boundaries over here. So this is Delhi, and here you can see this dotted line that runs over here like this, and it goes to the way over here. So on the right side here, this is Uttar Pradesh, this is Haryana. Again, here it is Uttarakhand, and here it is Himachal Pradesh. I'll just erase this, but let's zoom in and see what actually happens along this boundary. Let's start scrolling in near Delhi, and okay. So as we scroll in, we can see a river has come to set, and it is Yamuna Nadi or Yamuna River. So let's try to trace, and as you can see, if we just try to trace the path coincides with the dotted lines, and as I just showed a few seconds ago, this dotted line is a boundary between two states. That is, on the left side is Haryana, as you can see. Okay, maybe the state will come to sight. Yeah, is Haryana, and on the right side of this was the boundary. On the right side it is Uttar Pradesh. So let's trace it, and as we scroll upwards, you can see that all the way along the path of the river, there's dotted lines. So this is where the boundaries are formed between Uttar Pradesh and Haryana. And now, as we scroll a little up, here you can see this again. So this was Haryana was there, and this was Uttar Pradesh. But as we scroll up, now we come into the region that separates. Here you can see this dotted line is there, and as you scroll up, you can see here is a region which it shows this Himachal Pradesh on the left side of the river and Uttarakhand on the right side of the river. So still again, as we go north further, the river itself, this is Yamuna river itself. Maybe then, yeah, okay, now this is Stones river. So here it is Stones river which separates Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand. And along the way, now there's one river that runs in this direction, and if you just find trace the path on the left side, then again you can see it is the river itself that separates these two states, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand. Now further, it might be some another reason which separates the two rivers, but till this point we could see that the two states were separated because of the boundary which was created by the rivers that were over here. And if we just see a little towards the right side, I'll just zoom out a little. Here is the international boundary between India on the left side, and there's Nepal on the right side. And if we further scroll in, that is zoom in, you can again see that along this boundary there's a river. So I think it is Kali River. So, and it is Sarda River on this side. Maybe based on the countries, the names may change, or maybe the uh, different parts of the river got different names. But the point is that they all run along the international boundary between India and Nepal. So this entire the left side, that is the west end of the boundary between Nepal's boundary, the left end of the Nepal's boundary was determined by this river, it seems. So all the way down till here, till it takes a kind of right turn, it is divided by India and Nepal is divided by river itself. So that was one example. This was the Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand. This was the an example where a river divided two states of a country, and this river, the Kali River, it divided two countries itself. That is India and Nepal on this side. If we scroll down a little, that is towards south, a little towards south, in the map of Madhya Pradesh, what we can observe is there's a little structure like this which happens. So not exactly the entire part. It could be because of the kingdoms, that is the kingdoms or other regions, provinces of Gwalior and Jhansi that were there. Maybe that was responsible to differentiate it or make it a part of Madhya Pradesh and the part above it as Uttar Pradesh. Still, here also, if we zoom in a little, we may observe that there are rivers itself that separate the two boundaries. So, okay, here we are. This is the boundary between Rajasthan on the left side and Madhya Pradesh on the right side. So here this is Parpati river, and here also you can see there is a dotted line which runs along the line of the river. So here the river has been determined, that is Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh boundary. And now here the point changes, that is the river goes more towards northwest, but on the right side there we can see Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh boundaries, and still it is determined by river. Now here it has got separated, but again if we scroll up a little and try to trace the boundaries itself, okay, so here if we scroll in, the same river, the Parvati river, it has encountered again and again, it comes and determines the boundary between Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan over here, all the way north. So here this is another river, but still these rivers itself are the ones which even determine the northwest or the northern boundary between the Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh states. So here all the way you can see it is the river as well as the political boundary between two states. And now similarly the same thing happens, that is the river itself determines Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh boundaries over here as well. And then further it there's a smaller river, we can see it still again determines a part of the boundary, and then there could be some other regions as well which determine the boundaries of between the two states. There's Chhattisgarh on the right side of this uh, boundary over here. No, no, actually it was Uttar Pradesh itself, a part of Uttar Pradesh over here. So that was a few states in the north. If we scroll down a little towards south and see the boundary between Maharashtra and Gujarat, we can observe something similar. That is, here you can see this is Narmada river, and It runs along the boundary between Maharashtra and Gujarat on this here on Maharashtra and Gujarat over here, and Maharashtra and Madhya Pradesh over here. This is the Nandurbar district of this is the Dhule district of Maharashtra, and here you can see Narmada river has run along the boundary of Maharashtra and Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh. And even if we see, yeah, so here Tapi river is there, but it does not form any boundary. It is there on the other side, that is on the Gujarat side of the state. Now something similar again happens if we go further down, that is along this is over here is Maharashtra, and on this side is Telangana. So if we see again here, a little part is there which is determined by a river itself, that is the boundary between two states. And further there's a little more longer part we can see. This is Telangana over here, and on the right side is Chhattisgarh. So here also we can see the river runs along the state boundaries between these two states. So here all the way it happens, that is the river determines the boundary till this point. Even this boundary that is there, I think it is, yeah, a part of Maharashtra, Gadchiroli, and on the right side there's Chhattisgarh. So here also river has been responsible to determine the boundary. And I think, yeah, one last thing was between the boundary of Telangana and Hyderabad. Now these two regions are the regions which were previously one state, that is Andhra Pradesh, but now they are separated and both have same language, that is Telugu language. Still, here we can see it could be reason that the river was used as a boundary to separate the two states, that is this is Krishna river, there's confluence with the Tungabhadra river. And here the boundary between Telangana on the north and Andhra Pradesh on the south, it is determined again by Krishna river's path. So all the way here we can see the entire path of boundary between the two states till this point is determined by the Krishna river itself. So this was one of the observations. I'm not sure if this was definitely the factor that was used to separate two adjacent states, but it looks like it was the reason. It was one of the reasons that could have been the factor to determine the boundary between the states. Similar to the way at the end of a South Korean drama, there's a bonus cell. Here's one bonus cell for you. So right now we are looking at South Korea here, but that's not where we will go right now. We'll rather go at the boundary of North Korea and China. So as we scroll down, you may notice that a river begins to come to sight as per the name, and I'm not sure of the pronunciation, but it might be Yalu river. So let's trace the path, and just as still just to emphasize it, this is the boundary between China and North Korea over here. This black line that runs parallel runs along the river is the boundary between North Korea and China. And let's start at the point of confluence between the river and the, I think this is sea, maybe it's some sea probably, yeah, Yellow Sea. So if we just move, so here the Yalu river starts, and you may observe that, see, North Korea, China, the boundary between North Korea and China is clearly formed by this Yalu river itself, maybe some reservoir over which is common between the two. But still, it's the river that has been determining the boundary between the two countries all the way. See, like the way the river takes turns, it also takes turns, and I think maybe this will someday become an Oxbow lake, and this entire territory, will it happen that this entire territory will one day become a part of North Korea, because this here the river will join, or maybe they will just get a small piece of land over here, that is the Chinese people will get this part, and still, even if the river changes its path, the part may not become part of North Korea. Okay, so moving ahead. Still, some highways seem to run from one border to another, but the river has still become the point of determination between the two countries of land. Yalu River, the same river so far. So many turns which are almost like U shape or UP. North Korea and China. Okay, let's just zoom out a little and see. Just zoom in from time to time, but still the river exists at the borderline. Yeah, here as well. No, okay, so this is maybe this was point of origin of the river, but this is small, seems to be small stretch of land which where the boundary does not have a river, uh, and then yeah, again it starts river. Some another river maybe. Okay, Tumen River. The Tumen River becomes the boundary between the two countries. So there was just a small stretch of boundary which did not have a river to separate them, but then again another river has come into picture and that is separating the two countries, right, till the point it becomes one with the sea. So that was it. That is major point to note where a river differentiates two countries or becomes the point where two countries form the international boundaries.